The market is slowly recovering today. Palantir price just stabilized. Investors are watching closely. Alex Karp revealed something terrifying, and this pushed analysts to be skeptical. However, another bombshell has been dropped today. Microsoft and Palantir are at the center of it, and this might finally save Palantir from bleeding. What is happening? And what on earth am I even talking about? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. Okay, today might not be the worst day for Palantir. The stock has shown a bit of resilience, bouncing back slightly and holding steady around the $90 mark. It's not a massive surge or anything, and yeah, we're still in the red, but there are little signs of recovery peeking through. And let's be real, for us in the community, any sign of life is a win. It's like catching a glimpse of sunlight after a gloomy day. The mood in the market is shifting ever so slightly. It's not full-blown excitement just yet, but there's a growing sense that maybe, just maybe, things are starting to turn around. Analysts are watching closely, trying to figure out if this is the beginning of a real rebound or just a temporary pause before another dip. Either way, all eyes are on Palantir, waiting to see if this momentum can actually build into something bigger. So, is this the start of something good? Or just another tease before more turbulence? That's the big question, and we'll be keeping a close watch. Now, one analyst broke it all down and explained what's really happening with Palantir's price. And the big question on everyone's mind, is it time to buy the dip? Palantir took a serious hit, dropping from around 125 to the mid-80s in just 5 trading days. That's a huge swing, especially after the big post-earnings rally. Right now, we're back to where we were before earnings, hovering near that familiar 83 range. According to the analyst, as long as Palantir stays between 80 and 83, it might not be a bad spot to start easing in for the long haul. But if it slips below 79, then we could be looking at another drop, possibly towards 66, an area that might be worth considering for long-term buyers. The past few trading sessions have been wild, and market sentiment has definitely shifted. So, what do you think? Have we finally hit the bottom? Or is there more downside ahead? Let us know in the comments below. And when you step back and look at the bigger picture, the drop is even more dramatic than it seemed. One analyst pointed out that Palantir has now tumbled around 30% in just 5 trading days. That's a massive slide, way more than just a rough week. To put it into perspective, the total market value has taken a hit of nearly $90 billion. That's an enormous amount wiped out in such a short time. It really shows just how intense this sell-off has been. So, with numbers this big, the question is, was this an overreaction, or is there still more room to fall? But here's the thing. This kind of drop might have been inevitable. Sometimes a stock has to take a breather after a massive run-up. And in a way, these pullbacks can actually set the stage for a stronger comeback. One analyst put it simply, no pain, no gain. It's part of the market cycle. Stocks don't just move up in a straight line forever. Corrections happen, and they can create opportunities for those who know how to play the long game. And when it comes to handling all this volatility, his approach is refreshingly simple. He's holding on to his Palantir shares, still keeping it as his biggest position. No panic selling, no second-guessing every dip. Instead of getting caught up in the day-to-day price swings, he's focused on the bigger picture. But that doesn't mean he's just sitting back doing nothing. He's also keeping an eye on other stocks that haven't had their big run yet. Stocks that could be the next breakout plays. Because at the end of the day, the market is always shifting, and while one stock might be pulling back, another could be gearing up for a move. It's a long-term mindset. And in times like these, patience might just be the smartest strategy. But here's where things get even more interesting. Something big just came out today, and it might add even more fuel to the fire. It turns out that CEO Alex Karp is set to sell a massive chunk of Palantir stock, almost $1 billion worth. And that's got investors talking. Palantir has been on an absolute tear since the start of 2024. At its peak, the stock had skyrocketed more than 6 times its value. But that momentum took a hit when news broke that Karp had plans to sell a significant amount of shares. For many investors, insider selling can be a red flag. After all, nobody knows the company better than the people running it. So if they're offloading shares, it can make others nervous. But there's always more to the story. Legendary investor Peter Lynch once said, "Insiders might sell their shares for any number of reasons, but they buy them for only one. They think the price will rise." That's something to keep in mind here. Just because Karp is selling doesn't automatically mean he's bearish on Palantir. He could be using the money for something completely unrelated. And it's important to note, this isn't even close to his full stake. Based on the last available numbers, he owns nearly 100 billion shares across different classes. The shares he's selling amount to about 10% of his holdings. That's a big number, but it's nowhere near a full exit. If he were dumping everything, that would be a different story. But he's not. So now the real question is, should regular investors be thinking about selling too? Or is this just a normal part of the game? But here's the crazy part. On the same day that news broke about Alex Karp selling shares, another massive announcement dropped. Palantir is teaming up with Microsoft in a partnership that could have huge implications for the Department of Defense. One tweet summed it up perfectly. Data isn't just numbers. It's the backbone of decision-making, strategy, and keeping everything running smoothly. Palantir and Microsoft are stepping up to meet that challenge. Their partnership is all about strengthening modern military operations, making sure data flows smoothly and systems work together without a hitch. The goal? To provide the best possible support for the military, ensuring those on the ground have the tools they need to operate efficiently and effectively. This isn't just another corporate deal. This is about shaping the future of defense technology. And with two giants like Palantir and Microsoft joining forces, it's clear that something big is in the works. This is huge for Palantir. A partnership with Microsoft, especially one tied to the Department of Defense, is more than just another deal. It's a major validation of Palantir's role in national security. These kinds of contracts don't just bring in revenue, they open doors to long-term opportunities and deeper government ties. More importantly, this could be exactly what Palantir needs to stop the stock's decline. The sell-off has been brutal, but a high-profile deal like this shifts the focus back to the company's real value. It proves that while the stock may be struggling, Palantir itself is still winning where it matters. If investors take notice, this could be the moment that puts Palantir back on track. And here's the kicker. Palantir's impact on defense might not just stay in the US. It could be making its way to Europe soon, thanks to a major revelation from the US Secretary of Defense today. He just got off the phone with John Healey, the UK Secretary of State for Defense, who confirmed that the UK is set to increase its defense spending to 2.5% of its GDP. And that's just the beginning. There are plans to push it even higher over time. This is massive for Palantir, not just for today, but for its future. The defense sector is one of the most stable and well-funded industries in the world. And if Palantir cements itself as a key player in both US and European military operations, the growth potential is staggering. With the UK increasing its defense budget and other European nations likely to follow, Palantir has a golden opportunity to expand beyond its already strong US government ties. These aren't just one-off deals. They're long-term partnerships that could lead to billions in contracts over the years. And once Palantir embeds itself into a nation's defense infrastructure, replacing it becomes nearly impossible. That's how you build dominance. If investors start to connect the dots, this could be the spark that sends Palantir's stock soaring again. A company with deep government backing, cutting-edge AI, and a growing global footprint? That's exactly the kind of formula that could push Palantir toward that dream valuation of $1 trillion company. When you step back and look at the big picture, today's price action starts to feel pretty insignificant. In the long run, Palantir is setting itself up for something much bigger. With massive deals, government partnerships, and global expansion on the horizon, the future is looking bright. And for investors feeling a little shaky right now, one analyst had some reassuring words. If the market turns around, Palantir could be back over 100 in no time. We've seen this play out before. After past sell-offs, Palantir was one of the first stocks to bounce back, fueled by retail investors and momentum traders who love a strong recovery. So while things might look rough in the short term, this could just be another setup for Palantir to come roaring back stronger than ever. But what is your opinion on this? Comment down below. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on the screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then turn on the notifications bell on this channel. Missing an important Palantir update might make you lose money, so don't risk it. $445 per share. Can Palantir really do it? It seems like the doubters are wrong, and they're now pumping more exciting tech. Alex Karp has proven once again that they're at the top of their game, and that their market cap is probably going to balloon soon. Is there truth to this? How will they even do this? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. Palantir just wins again and again. News has just been released that they've been added to another elite list of companies that's excellent for investing. What's this list about? Well, the Bank of America has included a few companies in their US 1 list. The US 1 list is designed to showcase Bank of America's top investment ideas. For Palantir, this is such a strong signal of confidence. Being on this list means that Bank of America sees Palantir as one of the best opportunities for growth and returns. And here's what's even more amazing. This can attract more attention from investors, potentially boosting its stock value and reputation in the market. When a major financial institution like Bank of America backs a company, it often leads others to take a closer look, which could help Palantir gain even more support from both retail and institutional investors. So what's the reason of Bank of America in adding Palantir to this list? Apparently, Palantir is now on the cusp of a major breakthrough, and this could lead them to becoming a trillion-dollar company. But this is just the beginning. Now, granted that today, Palantir is still at the start of growing to their full potential, but they're already valued at $81 billion, with a price per share of around $36. If we do the math and assume that Palantir's price will grow to a market capitalization of $1 trillion, then it's very easy to see the stock performing over 12 times its price now. If calculated, that would end up around $445 per share. This is insanity. So, what's this technology that's going to push Palantir to these levels? Well, it has everything to do with their cloud technology offering. Palantir is quietly revolutionizing the cloud industry, and many people still haven't noticed. The company is positioning itself to dominate the cloud computing market by changing how businesses think about computing power. They're basically creating a new way to simplify everything related to this tech. So what's new that they're doing? Instead of sticking to the traditional model, Palantir is shifting the focus from raw compute to what's known as valuable compute. Let's break this down. In the past, companies would buy raw computing power and then spend significant amounts of time and money to make it work for their specific needs. This approach takes a lot of effort and money because it requires businesses to essentially build a solution from scratch every time they face a new problem. It's a slow process, and it's not the most efficient way to handle technology in a fast-moving market. Palantir's approach is different. Instead of giving companies just raw computing power, they provide solutions that are ready to use. These solutions already have the software and systems needed for various use cases, so businesses can quickly get to work without spending extra resources on customization. By offering valuable compute, Palantir is solving problems before they even appear, allowing companies to be more efficient and cost-effective in their operations. This is like buying gasoline for your car. Instead of building an oil rig to extract oil, then turn it into gasoline every single time your vehicle needs gas. Pretty neat solution from Palantir, right? As more companies realize this advantage, Palantir is on a path to becoming a tech giant, potentially reshaping the entire market with its innovative approach to cloud services. Now imagine the world's biggest and up-and-coming companies using this. That $1 trillion market capitalization is now looking a bit more real, right? This is what happens when a company knows how to differentiate themselves and create something new and useful in their industry. In Palantir's case, their expertise in digital twin technology is what truly sets them apart in the cloud industry. This technology allows Palantir to create a precise, replicable blueprint of a company's infrastructure, which can then be used by other businesses without starting from scratch, saving their partners time and other resources. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. When Palantir builds a custom solution for one company, it doesn't stop there. The next company in line can use that same infrastructure, already tailored for similar needs, without having to invest in raw computing power and the massive effort of customization. This ability to replicate and scale solutions is a major shift in the way cloud services are provided. It means companies can skip the expensive and time-consuming process of building their own infrastructure from the ground up, but instead, use proven, efficient systems that are already designed to solve specific challenges. Who wouldn't want to use proven methods, right? This approach is game-changing. One of the first major examples of this new model is Warp Speed, which Palantir CEO Alex Karp describes as the modern American manufacturing operating system. Warp Speed is a perfect example of valuable compute in action, showing how Palantir's approach can revolutionize industries. With Palantir pushing digital twin technology forward, they are providing businesses with an unmatched competitive edge. Companies can now move faster, reduce costs, and gain immediate access to powerful, tailored infrastructure. This kind of advantage could soon make Palantir an essential player in the cloud space, with digital twin technology driving their growth. Now, this is such a powerful addition to Palantir's offerings. But how will this impact the future of its partner companies? Well, for one, in the coming decade, we can expect more businesses to move away from raw compute and shift toward valuable compute, with Palantir leading the way. There might be some who will try to copy Palantir's offerings, but they probably won't be able to catch up. As companies look for more efficient and cost-effective solutions, Palantir's approach will become increasingly attractive. Palantir has deep expertise across a wide range of industries. This expertise gives Palantir a unique edge. They can disrupt the traditional cloud market, where companies are still largely focused on offering raw computing power bundled with services. What makes Palantir's approach so powerful is that it doesn't stop at delivering solutions. As more companies adopt Palantir's technology, the company gathers real-world data and insights, constantly refining and improving its offerings. This feedback loop allows Palantir to continuously make its solutions better and more efficient, giving businesses more value for their investment. Maybe in the future, this amazing tech now will become obsolete because of something that Palantir will release. Something better, more cost-efficient, and faster. Over time, this will make Palantir's valuable compute solutions even more competitive compared to the traditional cloud providers. When this shift toward valuable compute takes hold, the demand for providers like Palantir will grow rapidly. Businesses will no longer want to spend time and resources building custom systems from raw compute. Instead, they'll look for ready-made, tailored solutions that can be quickly adapted to their needs, and Palantir is set to be at the center of this transition. In fact, Palantir is already starting this now, not in the world of cloud computing, but rather in something else entirely different. I'm talking about drones. Apparently, Palantir's drones will have the ability to find its location using its sensors alone. This is without the help of any comms. People never thought this was possible, but Palantir made it happen. How so? Well, their CTO, Shyam Sankar, partly revealed on X how they could be using pre-uploaded map into their drones, which would be an issue for small drones, but for Palantir, they're able to do this. This is because getting maps onto drones is one of Palantir's strengths. By using MetaConstellation and Foundry together, Palantir delivers updated imagery from various providers. These images are processed into tile sets that are perfectly tailored for drones operating at the edge. This is possible thanks to the Jetson Orin family, which is already widely used on small drones today. These drones, known as SUAS platforms, benefit from Palantir's technology without being limited by compute or power constraints. It's a difficult challenge, especially with drones flying as low as 200 feet. But Palantir has managed to reduce the size of their relevant algorithms. What was once possible only for larger drones is now effective for smaller drones. Palantir has shown this capability in live demos outside of APCon. This just shows they can walk the talk. They are making this technology available to drone companies. It can be integrated as part of their offerings. This is just a first look into the inner workings of their latest and greatest tech in the drone sphere. So what do you think about this? Let us hear your thoughts in the comments. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on the screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, please like this video, and don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. This really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Also, please share this video with as many people as possible. Let's get this news out there.